At the award ceremony, the newly acclaimed genius director publicly proposed to me. The camera panned to me in the audience and incidentally captured the best actor sitting beside me. My reticent secret husband. Under the spotlight, he had to join the applause with a forced smile. Quipping, "Wow. He's proposing. Welcome to Heartbeat Moments." Click subscribe for daily captivating stories. Let's begin. Ethan Wilson and I became siblings through blended families. My mother destroyed his perfect family, drove his mother to madness, then absconded with his father's money. She abandoned me, her own burden. When his father remarried and tried to send me to an orphanage, Ethan claimed me. "We'll always share the same household registry," he declared. I thought he only wanted the legal connection. Yet on my 20th birthday, when marriage became legally permissible, he immediately took me to get our marriage license. That same year, he signed with an agency, skyrocketed to fame with a hit series, and began collecting awards while I pursued graduate studies. Our relationship remained hidden. At the mall, classmates gaped at his billboard, those sculpted cheekbones like frozen peaks, those indolent eyes radiating controlled detachment. It's Ethan Wilson. How does anyone resist that face? No wonder directors adore him. New endorsement. My husband's unstoppable. Snap a pic for me. I raised my phone to photograph his image, momentarily transfixed. Ivy. You like him too? A friend teased. Please. Another laughed. She's never fangirled over anyone, even though we're film majors. Ethan's different. Someone insisted. He's famously emotionally stable and refined in this industry. Returning home at 10:05 p.m., I found the apartment dark, silhouetted against the city's neon glow. Ethan waited in his leather armchair. "You're 5 minutes late." His voice cut through the shadows. "Who were you with?" He loosened his tie. "Classmates." "Male?" "Girls you've met." His palm demanded compliance. When I hesitated, he retrieved my phone himself, scrolling through messages with clinical precision. Every person in my life required his surveillance. My fingers found the silk buttons of his shirt, tracing the hard musculature beneath. He froze mid-scroll, glacial eyes lifting. "What are you doing?" I continued undoing buttons. He seized my wrist. "I'm not some pervert who'd take advantage of his sister." Meeting his gaze, I countered, "Yet you married yours." He pried my fingers open one by one. "You think I married you because I'm madly in love?" His smile didn't reach his ice-cold eyes. "You're as despicable as your mother. What good could possibly come from rotten blood? Your DNA's wired to be a slut." My back hit the glass coffee table as he shoved me away. Shards exploded across the floor. Ethan kicked aside the debris, looming over me. "Married and divorced your own brother. What man would want you now?" His lip curled. "No one will ever love you, Ivy." Pain radiated through my ribs as my phone lit up. I slammed my palm over the screen before Ethan could see. Clutching his sleeve, I forced sweetness into my voice. "I'll be good, Ethan. Please don't be angry." He studied me for endless moments before hauling me upright. The tissue in his hand came away bloody from my palm. "Home by 10. No more dresses." His command brooked no argument. "Stay with me tonight?" I dared ask. His laugh was razor-sharp. Pathetic. The door slammed behind him. 3-hour flight each way just to check if I'd obeyed curfew, typical Ethan Wilson. The second his car left, I texted the unknown number, "Coast's clear." My skin hunger pulsed like exposed nerves. Dr. Mia Brown's words echoed, childhood abandonment manifesting as tactile starvation. Ethan never understood. That night I'd begged for comfort during his rebellious teens, just a hug. I'd whispered, "Disgusting." He'd recoiled like I offered poison. "Who'd ever want you?" The memory still burned. He was right. Even mother slapped me for interrupting her dates when I craved affection. Now trembling fingers unbuttoned my blouse as footsteps approached the penthouse. The elevator pinged. Ivy Wilson, the perfect obedient sister, was about to break every rule Ethan had ever set. Slut. We're all women here. Who are you trying to fool with that pitiful act? They all called me a scheming girl, unworthy of love. But I couldn't understand what I'd done wrong. The next day at school, I earnestly asked my desk mate, if I loved you deeply, would you hug me? Just once? That was the first sentence I ever spoke to him. Before that, he'd been the golden boy, perfect looks, elite family. I was just an invisible nobody. The class mocked me for overreaching, assuming another cliché crush confession. But he didn't join their laughter. After serious consideration, he told me, I'm sorry. Now's not the right time. Expected rejection. Our worlds were galaxies apart. Soon after, he faded from my life entirely. When senior year began after summer break, everyone was buzzing. Noah Clarke went to America to study filmmaking. He never planned to take college entrance exams anyway. His self-made short film won awards. He's literally in another universe. At 19, Noah Clarke became independent cinema's rising star with his student film, later securing funding for Hollywood projects. I remained merely the girl who'd shared his desk for one semester, leaving no mark on his dazzling youth. Yet I craved that blazing light. So I applied to film school too. When Ethan Wilson heard, he raised an eyebrow. Why this? My stellar grades could have opened any door. I stayed silent. His eyes narrowed. For me? It wasn't true. But I lied for the first time, yes. I wanted to be near you, brother. That first lie unleashed something dark. I grew addicted to watching Ethan's smug confidence and understanding me. Becoming the schemer he'd accused me of being. I never expected to cross paths with Noah again until classmates buzzed about audition notices days ago. Noah Clarke's new film Flickering Light is casting at our school. God. He's even hotter than the rumors. Probably nepotism hires. Who cares? Just get seen. Jostled in the crowd. I glimpsed him on stage, black hoodie draping his tall frame. Teenage softness replaced by world-weary elegance. As friends pulled me away to shop, someone mused, I wonder what kind of girl Noah Clarke would like. The answer flashed on a billboard then, Ethan Wilson's luxury watch ad. Anyone's possible. Except me. The girl who married her own brother. Impossible then. Unthinkable now. When I was sending photos from my phone to my classmates, I inexplicably recalled Noah Clarke's high school phone number, that string of digits I'd never actually dialed. Before going home, I impulsively sent a text to that number, Noah Clarke. This is Ivy Wilson. Could you give me a chance to audition for Light Flicker? As I typed, I thought how ridiculous this was. He probably didn't even use this number anymore, let alone remember me. Who would respond to such a scam-like message? I was about to delete the draft when I opened my front door. You're 5 minutes late. My brother Ethan's voice from the darkness startled me into accidentally hitting send. I immediately deleted the message history. When Ethan left and the door closed, I hastily texted my agent, he's gone. Come up now. My eyes froze on the recipient's number for several seconds. Disaster. I'd sent it to the wrong contact. This should have gone to my agent Mia Brown. Ethan Wilson disapproved of me entering entertainment circles, fearing I'd exploit his connections. But I'd secretly signed with an agency to make money. Is your brother gone? Mia had been crouching outside waiting, calling me. Girl, you're in trouble, I said when she entered, showing her the mistaken text. She took a drag of her cigarette. What were you thinking? I thought she meant the wrong text. But she pointed at the previous message. You want to audition for Light Flicker? Half of Hollywood is fighting for that project. Even your Oscar-winning brother Ethan has to beg for the male lead role. As I retrieved my phone, She pressed on, wait. Why do you have the legendary director Noah Clarke's number? High school classmate. I mumbled. She snorted, stubbing out her cigarette. The world's full of forgotten high school classmates. You're not the first trying backdoor methods. But Noah's famous for hating opportunists. Mia grabbed my phone to re-examine the message. That arrogant bastard would have to be insane to wait downstairs until your brother leaves before coming up. She chuckled darkly. If paparazzi got this text and we spun some scandalous narrative. I cut her off, deleting all records. She raised an eyebrow. Why so nervous? You can't even get supporting roles in web dramas. At your level, nobody would believe you're important enough to sleep with Noah Clarke for roles. Putting away my phone, I said firmly, I want opportunities, not shortcuts. Mia paused, then countered, but sending this makes you look cheap even if he remembers you. Ignoring her, I curled on the couch reviewing scripts. You could actually use your brother's resources, she suggested, leaning closer. Ethan Wilson spares no expense when promoting his favorites. My brother had been excessively promoting a new actress lately. Luna Martinez, know her? Mia's tone shifted. Funny thing, she looks just like you. She wasn't like me. Younger. Prettier. In my brother Ethan Wilson's words. Purer. That kind of innocent purity I'd only seen when I first met Ethan years ago, the kind that constantly needed protection. And he did protect her well. I know, I said. One morning at 4:30, she'd used Ethan's phone to send me a photo. A close-up of her snow-white neck dotted with love bites. Big sister, don't you want this too? But guess what? Brother only does these things with me. Ethan let her send these. Even encouraged it. Relished it. And you still won't divorce him? Mia Brown asked me. Because I'm sick. My dermatillomania had worsened to the point where only Ethan's touch didn't repulse me. He knew this perfectly well. That's why he felt certain I'd never leave. No matter how cruel he became. I'd endure. I'd gone numb. People stay together for benefits, Ethan and I. My parents. Marriage means nothing. Love even less. Some find happiness. But not me. I stopped believing anyone could genuinely love me. Mia pressed. But what if someone else? Impossible. I forced a smile, cutting her off. Hypothetically, she insisted. Someone who truly loves you. I'd go. The answer came instantly. Leave without looking back. But such person didn't exist. When our conversation died, I returned to my script while Mia reviewed contracts. Night winds calmed everything. Mia stayed over, sleeping soundly while I stared at the ceiling until 4:30 a.m. That cursed hour again. The growl of a motorcycle approached. Some rebellious kid returning home at dawn? My phone rang. Unknown number showing digits I'd memorized but never dialed. Numbers that should have died when I was 17. Hello. Noah Clarke. My voice surprised me with its steadiness. His voice shocked me with its familiarity. After all these years. His first words to me, I'm here. Come down. Madman. The apartment elevator felt slower than ever. The mirror showed my reflection sleep-deprived. Hair disheveled. His timing never changed. Just like sophomore year when I got acne-covered cheeks and a new desk partner. When I moved my belongings to the corner reserved for those golden boys. The air turned icy. The boy behind me playfully shoved Noah Clarke and clicked his tongue in mock regret. I didn't exchange a single word with him for an entire week. During recess one day, a girl from class leaned against my textbook while chatting with their group. Hey you. She addressed me. I told the homeroom teacher I want to switch seats with you. All eyes suddenly fixed on my face. That casual remark carried an unspoken threat, don't push your luck. My grip tightened on the test papers. She didn't wait for my response and turned to flash Noah a smile. You can't bully me from now on. I quickly gathered my things to leave. but a hand closed around my wrist. No swap. His tone remained neutral yet firm, physically pressing me back into the seat beside him. The crowd froze, their gazes shifting between us. He offered no explanation and didn't even glance my way. He simply withdrew his hand and resumed discussing basketball team schedules with the guy behind us as if nothing had happened. Can't make it to your place tomorrow for the game. Right. No problem. The tension dissolved into normal chatter. But I saw it under the sunset glow. His ears burned crimson till they nearly burst. Ethan Wilson never knew that my condition had only ever malfunctioned once in all these years. For someone other than him. Noah Clarke. The elevator's ding shattered the memory. I pushed open the stairwell door to the freezing early spring winds. He stood waiting in the snowfall. The motorcycle helmet hid his ears, leaving only those piercing eyes visible. Run away together. Or recklessly claim him tonight. Every fiber of my being screamed for these irrational thoughts. He spoke first upon seeing me. Ivy Wilson. You're not suitable for light flicker. Brutally concise. No trace of the vulnerability from the midnight visit. Your look doesn't fit. Your acting needs polishing. I can't wait for you to catch up. Oh. He'd come at 4:30 a.m. just to reject my audition request. How typical of his hatred for backdoor deals, especially when we were merely former classmates. So intense it required personal midnight reprimands. Yet here I was fantasizing about impossibilities. So Director Clarke came specifically to say this? Silence. I folded my arms and stepped back. His gaze followed the movement as he removed the black helmet, revealing that unfairly handsome face. No. Finally. He spoke. I came to ask, who is he? I froze. Not understanding. He pulled off his off-road glove with one hand and took out his phone, shoving that text message in my face. My text. He left. Come up now. I looked away. Didn't lie. My husband Ethan Wilson. I'd never called Ethan that before. Using that term now felt like self-flagellation. Especially before Noah Clarke. Noah visibly stiffened. Long lashes trembling. You're married? Yes. Disappointment. He'd react like everyone else. My mistake. I forced steadiness into my wavering voice. Wasn't meant for you. Who then? My agent Mia Brown. The truth spilled out. Ethan doesn't approve of me acting. He came secretly to deliver scripts. His disapproval stops you? Too sharp. Angry. Why anger? No. My keys bit into my palm. I want to act. Troubled marriage? Yes. He treats you poorly? Yes. Why this interrogation? Mocking my misery? I met his gaze, that's why I came to you. What use am I? He tilted his head. Height advantage pressing down. What exactly do you want from me? You're influential. You can give opportunities. Why should I? His tone turned arctic, suppressing something volatile. Ivy Wilson. What exactly are we to each other? No answer. We're nothing. I broke eye contact. My mistake. Won't bother you again. Never. When's the divorce? He interrupted abruptly. Our eyes locked. He looked away first. Then back. Unflinching. I don't work with married women. Waiting. It's processing. Needs time, take this. From his coat emerged warm manuscripts and DVDs. Kept close to his heart. My upcoming confidential project. Fits your essence. I can coach your acting. Process text, identification and replacement Ivy. I can wait for you. Are you ordering takeout in the middle of the night? Mia Brown woke up drowsily. No. Go back to sleep. I crouched down to insert the disc. Holy crap. She became fully awake. This ancient thing? Who sent it? Noah Clarke said the script was his work. And the film was for my study. The TV screen flickered to life with a vintage 20th century movie, neon signs over cramped urban spaces where a couple occupied a room. As the camera zoomed out, city noises faded into intimate whispers. Then came explicit moaning. I slammed the power button. Who's this psycho fan sending you midnight porn? Mia blinked. Noah Clark. Mia burst into laughter, pressing her hand to my forehead. No fever though? I brushed her off and pulled out the storyboard manuscript. Yellowed edges betrayed its decade-old origins. On the title page, vessels stood bold. Beneath it, Noah's signature dated 10 years ago, back when we were high school freshmen. The detailed storyboard panels read like graphic novel frames, particularly the female lead's face, which mirrored my teenage features. Jesus H. Christ. Mia's smile vanished. This is authentic Noah Clark material. His storyboard manuscripts were legendary rarities in the industry. He just gave this to you? Delivered it to your door at midnight? You're sure you were just classmates? She restarted the TV, studying the erotic scenes with academic intensity. Psycho fan? I interjected. Don't be shallow. She slapped her thigh. There's method to his madness. When credits rolled at dawn, Mia snored while I rewatched it frame by frame. Exhaustion finally claimed me, the first deep sleep in years. Next afternoon, my phone screamed with Mia's call. When did you leave? I mumbled. Check trending. Hashtag Noah Clark motorcycle, hashtag Noah Clark Old Town Alley, hashtag the viral photo showed him under streetlight at the alley mouth. Helmet and arms with wind-bitten ears, staring at his phone like awaiting someone. Old Town Alley was my high school neighborhood, now 2 cities apart from my current apartment. A text message notification popped up. Final translated text: Ivy. I can wait for you. Are you ordering takeout in the middle of the night? Mia Brown woke up drowsily, her eyes struggling to focus. Never mind. Go back to sleep, I said, kneeling to insert the disc into the player. Holy crap. She suddenly became alert. This relic? Who dug this up for you? Noah Clark claimed the script was his creation. The film intended as educational material for me. The television lit up with a grainy 20th century movie, neon signs glowing above cramped apartments where 2 figures moved in a dim room. As the camera pulled back, the hum of distant traffic dissolved into breathy whispers. When unmistakable moans erupted, I killed the power. Who's the creepy fan sending you midnight skin flicks? Mia rubbed her eyes. Noah Clark. Mia snorted laughter, pressing a palm to my forehead. No fever. Delusional much? I pushed her hand away and retrieved the storyboard manuscript. Its curled edges whispered of years stored in dark places. The title page declared vessel in bold strokes. Beneath it, Noah's signature dated a decade prior, our freshman year of high school. Each panel unfolded like a graphic novel. Meticulous annotations framing scenes where the female protagonist's face uncannily mirrored my teenage self. Sweet suffering Madonna. Mia's smile evaporated. This is actual Noah Clark original work? His storyboards were the stuff of industry legend, jealously guarded. And he just handed this to you? Personally delivered at midnight? You're seriously telling me you were just classmates? She restarted the television, analyzing the explicit sequences with scholarly intensity. Creepy fan? I muttered. Philistine. She smacked her thigh. There's artistic intent here. At dawn's first light, Mia's snores accompanied my frame-by-frame analysis. Exhaustion finally dragged me under, the first untroubled sleep I'd known in years. The next afternoon, my phone screamed with Mia's call. When did you sneak out? I croaked. Check trending now. Hashtag Noah Clark motorcycle, hashtag Noah Clark Old Town Alley. The viral photo showed him frozen under a street lamp at the alley's mouth. Helmet cradled like a sleeping child, ears flushed from the biting wind. His gaze remained locked on his phone screen, a modern statue of anticipation. Old Town Alley, my high school stomping grounds, now separated from my current apartment by 2 city lines. A text message notification blinked to life. The class monitor from high school texted me, saying that Noah Clark came asking for my address at 10:30 last night. I thought you were still living on Simon Alley at first. So I told him. Later I realized you must have moved. Asked around. And finally sent him your current address around midnight. Did he end up finding you? My fingers hovered over the keyboard as Mia Brown's voice came through the phone, snapping me back to reality. The whole crew's buzzing with gossip right now. Imagine this guy who's been super disciplined for years, never leaves set during filming, actually received a text last night and just took off on his motorcycle. They say he rode like a madman across hundreds of miles for 7 hours to God knows where before returning to set. Now he's hospitalized with fever. Hooked up to N4 but still working on set. Mia sent me a photo in the makeshift filming location. Noah sat draped in a black coat, his pale face showing determined intensity despite the feverish flush making him look vulnerable. Everyone's asking why I'm not more curious. Ivy Wilson. Care to explain why I shouldn't be? Mia lowered her voice. What's really going on between you two? High school classmates. Since when do high school classmates ride motorcycles across 2 cities in the middle of the night to deliver film reels when your husband's away? I stayed silent as noise erupted on Mia's end. Come to the Flickering Shadows audition today. We need to discuss confidentiality with Noah. Okay. Oh. And your brother Ethan's here. Noah's award-winning films had been Ethan Wilson's white whale for years. Mia warned, stay clear. Don't let him see you. The crowded set found Mia conversing with the producer, Noah's longtime collaborator. He looked up with knowing eyes, the infamous MS. Wilson. An odd compliment for someone who'd never directed before. But here's the thing. The producer tapped the contract. You've seen the container's storyboards. The intimate scenes are graphic. Can you handle that? Mia glanced at me. Could we use camera angles? The producer's eyebrow arched. Noah's films were renowned for raw authenticity. I'll try, I said. This might be my only shot. I couldn't let past trauma chain me forever. Good. The producer approved. They're testing scenes up front. I'll have you try with our lead actor. But isn't this for Flickering Shadows? Mia asked. Doesn't matter. Noah's evaluating everyone. As I was led away, the producer added, don't worry, you're acting opposite an Oscar winner. He'll carry you. Which winner? I turned. Ethan Wilson. He clapped my shoulder. Excited. Huh? Shit. The audition tent bustled with people despite the light snow. I immediately spotted Ethan's agent. Then I saw Luna Martinez wearing the coat I'd bought for Ethan. Our eyes met. Her fingers clutching the fabric nervously. She looked exquisite. All delicate charm. Ethan emerged from the audition room and took Luna's hand. Why's it so cold here? Following her gaze. He saw me by the drafty entrance. His brow furrowed as he physically shielded Luna from view. This is to protect her and to avoid any suspicion with me. Ethan Wilson took out his phone to type. My phone vibrated with his messages. Frowny face. Ethan, why are you here? Ethan, do you think this is a place for you? Ethan, don't even think about touching her. Ivy, I'm here to audition. Ethan, ridiculous. What qualifications do you have? I didn't reply because the assistant director approached me. Ma'am, you're next, it's the final slot today. Here are your lines. The room was filled with executives, investors, and casting associates, though the final decision maker was Noah Clark. But where was he? I glanced through the script, fortunately. I'd rehearsed the scene before. Just as I was about to thank the assistant, someone yanked me violently out of the studio. The snow fell heavier now, icy shards coating the ground. Ethan's abrupt movement drew sidelong glances. But he quickly pulled me into the shadows. Did you sign with an agency? His voice simmered with anger. What gives you the right to ask that? I replied calmly. As my brother, or my husband. Don't make me sick. He released me, irritation flashing in his eyes. I warned you not to use my connections for opportunities. So he assumed I'd gotten here through him? I didn't. Then who else? His gaze darted as more people gathered nearby. Go home. Now. I'm staying to audition. You? He laughed bitterly. With what skills? Face it, without me. You're nothing. He always did this. Weaponizing my vulnerabilities and mental struggles for humiliation. Luna Martinez appeared silently behind us. Hesitant to approach but radiating concern. Ethan noticed her standing in the snowfall. Inside. The assistant director called my name. Ethan gripped my arm and hissed. Fine. Audition if you want. His threat hung low and venomous. I'll make sure you learn what you can and cannot do. He shoved me away like trash. The icy ground slid beneath me, and I nearly cracked my skull against a metal scaffold. Ethan froze, panic flickering as he reached out, too late. I collided with someone's fever-warm chest. His hand steadied both me and the wobbling scaffold. When I looked up, my cheek brushed his stubbled jaw. He inhaled sharply, meeting my gaze with eyes like clear lake water. Their upturned corners tinged red from illness. Noah Clark didn't let go. Over my head. His stare locked onto Ethan's, and the possessive grip he still kept on my shoulder. Deliberately, Noah tightened his hold. Who left the iron frame here? The producer shouted from behind, nudging Noah Clark. Get inside. Still enjoying the breeze? Want another trip to the hospital? His hand withdrew as Ivy Wilson was ushered into the room. The producer whispered something to Noah. Big crowd today. Please stay professional. Can't take your eyes off that girl. Though brief. Both Luna Martinez and Ivy heard every word. Luna reached for Ethan Wilson's hand but missed. He strode over and demanded, You know him? Never met. Ivy lied. He stepped closer. He touched you. Just an accident. Each denial made his mood worse. He knew. Something dangerous was unleashed. Ethan grabbed Ivy's shoulder. She flinched, and he tightened his grip. His palm covered the spot where someone else had touched her. Ethan, Luna urged. They're calling us for rehearsal. Why is Ethan acting so strangely? Ivy overheard crew members murmur as she entered. The scene showed star-crossed lovers reuniting at an American barbecue joint, the billionaire bachelor and the struggling housewife. Tension filled their restrained exchanges until a summer rain forced the male lead to change clothes at her apartment. Finding his old shirt in her cluttered closet was the trigger. Seriously. Ethan's expression makes him look more like a clueless husband than the male lead. Why is he staring at Director Clark? The whispers stopped when Ivy faced Ethan, who kept glaring at the director's table. Crouching to arrange the prop closet, Ivy delivered her line, I'll never leave my husband. The firmer her voice, the less convincing her act. I love my husband deeply. The more she spoke, the less conviction she had. You're lying. He advanced. You'd lie to me for him? This improvised line deviated from the script. Normally, he should have embraced her against the peeling wall. Instead, Ethan looked past her at Noah Clark in the director's chair. She can't do this. The set erupted. Ethan had never shown such emotion in his career. Reason? Noah drawled, silencing the room. I don't work with amateurs. She can't handle intimate scenes. Ethan loosened his tie. Test it with someone else. The assistant director glanced at Noah Clark. He maintained his usual arrogant demeanor, aloof and silent. Ben, come give it a try. The AD called for the male lead's understudy. Start from the scene. The understudy immediately embraced Ivy Wilson. His movements shook loose plaster dust. Though she tried suppressing her reaction, countless pairs of judgmental eyes materialized in her mind, disappointed, disgusted, contemptuous gazes crawling over her skin like swarming insects. when she reflexively shuddered away. The entire set understood her revulsion. Ethan Wilson chuckled darkly, the situation unfolding exactly as he'd anticipated. Ivy remained trapped in his web. The studio executive clicked his tongue in disapproval. Why'd we let amateurs on set? Luna Martinez tightened her grip on Ethan's coat as he approached Ivy. With performative compassion, he dusted the plaster from Ivy's shoulders before the crew. Don't worry. Rookies need time, he announced magnanimously, then whispered venomously in her ear, see, little sister? This is why you'll always need me. Your body betrays you. Slut. Ivy shoved his hand away. Let me try with her. Noah Clark stepped forward with his script, tilting his head at Ethan. Move aside. You're done here. Ethan blocked his path. Director Clark. Same result either way. Prove it. Under collective scrutiny. Ethan retreated with a stormy expression. Murmurs rippled through the crew. The director's acting? Not surprising, his debut was self-directed. Their eyes met. Ivy took a steadying breath, crouching to adjust her costume. I'll never leave my husband, she declared, the line trembling with new vulnerability. I love my husband deeply. He watched without responding, his intensity pinning her in place. Flustered, she repeated, I really. Noah embraced her suddenly possessive, all-consuming warmth. When she struggled, he murmured against her ear, just a moment. His voice gentled. Ivy, he whispered, if I loved you completely, would you hold me back? Outside, winter's fury mirrored that long-ago summer's unanswered question, finally finding its answer in swirling snow. Over Ethan's livid glare, Ivy returned Noah's embrace. Ethan initiated the applause, his expression glacial. The sound swelled through the studio. Instant chemistry. Someone marveled. They just needed the right pairing. Snow continued blanketing the world beyond the studio lights, burying decade-old ghosts beneath fresh beginnings. It must be the wrong person. Hey, why did Ethan leave? I looked up to see the empty doorway of the studio. Was it him? Noah Clark asked abruptly. Though his question seemed random, we both knew what he meant. He read my expression and released his grip. The screen test ended as crew members began packing up. Noah stood and walked away, swallowed by the shifting crowd between us. Was he bothered? Probably. But I had no right to ask. I tugged my down jacket tighter while searching for my agent outside, venturing farther from set without success. I pulled out my phone. A black luxury car suddenly accelerated toward me, trapped against a stone wall. I braced for impact, but it screeched to a halt inches from my knees. Ethan Wilson smiled from the driver's seat. Every bit the gentleman the tabloids portrayed. Get in. We're going home. I hesitated. He leaned out the window, forearm resting casually on the frame. Would you rather have the entire crew discover our arrangement? A producer's voice carried through the cold, Noah? We need you on set. I slid into the passenger seat. The car rocketed from the studio, Ethan's expression remaining impassive despite the dangerous speed. At a red light, his phone buzzed. Returning now, he answered tersely. When my name came through the speaker, his gaze cut sideways with unreadable intensity. Impossible. The caller's frustration bled through. This project is your ticket to serious roles. At your age, burning bridges means career suicide. Cross him and you'll be blacklisted overnight. Ethan terminated the call as the light turned green. My phone vibrated with 15 consecutive texts from Mia Brown, industry TA. Your brother fought for months to land borderlines. They thought today's screen test was a formality. Trade blogs already ran the casting announcement. Investors approved, but the director vetoed it. The producer just told me Noah went straight to Ethan's agent after your test. Demanded, no married actors. Rolls his if he files for divorce. Unhinged. He's making this personal? Who's messaging you? Ethan's voice sliced through my thoughts. I locked my screen. Just my agent. You signed with a firm? His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. Yes. Good. His hand rested on the steering wheel as we entered the underground garage. The dimness invaded the car interior. When did you meet? He didn't say the name. But we both knew. There was someone other than him. High school. He chuckled lightly. That long? Kept in contact? He paused. So every time I checked your phone, you deleted the records. We didn't. Then it's recent? Exact date and time? Did you approach him first? His tone remained calm, steady as if simply concerned about his sister's life. Are you angry? I asked. Not angry. The car parked perfectly in the reserved spot. Not an inch off. Typical Ethan Wilson couldn't tolerate the slightest loss of control. Why should I be angry? He leaned over to unbuckle my seatbelt. Good. Make more friends. Just for fun. I don't mind. Upstairs. The door closed. He walked ahead, stopping at the entryway, removing his watch, shedding his coat. I went to the kitchen for warm water. He sat on the couch turning on the TV. Those familiar explicit moans surfaced. I'd forgotten to remove Noah Clarke's DVD. Ethan Wilson glanced at the case bearing Noah's name. What did you offer him? Ethan tossed the DVD case into the trash. A night with you for the role? No. He smiled. You got rejected. He gave you nothing in the movie. Know that? This industry's filthy. Pathetic how cheap you act. Sister. He's not like that. I said. He pulled off his charcoal tie. Advancing. Drink your water first. He blocked the doorway. It's cold. I threw it in his face instead. Water trailed down his jawline. His smile vanished. Eyes turning glacial. My thin sweater tore open. Struggling proved useless against the tie binding my wrists. Ethan Wilson. You said you'd never touch me. What? His touch is acceptable but mine isn't? Our breathing tangled. Boundaries crumbling. Now you come running at anyone's beckoning call? You're really cheap. I said calmly. Is that the word you want? He froze. Lips pressed tight. Ethan Wilson. Do you know when my illness flares up? The shame makes me want to die? I feel more disgusted with myself than anyone else could. So you don't need to keep reminding me. Ethan Wilson froze, tightening his grip on Ivy's wrist. You deserve this. You're exactly like your mother. Not the same. Ivy looked up. I don't owe you anything. Ethan. All these years. Ivy was the one who fed him medicine when he was sick, rushed through rainstorms to get him to exams, and lived in basements with him. She unconditionally absorbed the dark emotions he never showed others. What makes you think you don't owe me? He sneered. Your house. Your tuition, everything was paid for by me. My scholarships covered tuition. All my part-time earnings went to you. Shall we calculate? He demanded. Can you really account for every penny? Let's settle it all. I'll repay every cent. He gripped Ivy's chin, forcing her to meet his gaze. When your mother abandoned her bastard child, who took you in? How will you repay that debt? Who clung to me like a parasite? Who crawled into my bed at night? Now that you've grown up and gotten everything, you'll run off with another man? Ivy stared back. Have you ever lacked women around you these years? Whether as family or lovers? Ethan, you've never truly given me anything. You never stop reminding me that my existence is shameful, that I was born to atone for my mother's sins. Isn't that the case? His voice overwhelmed hers, eyes flashing with unrestrained emotion. If this isn't atonement, what binds us together? Otherwise, wouldn't I become the shameless man who fell for his own sister? Ah. So this was his truth. He savored everything from her yet wanted her alone to bear the weight of moral condemnation. He needed to remain the untarnished idol while she stayed the hidden maggot in his closet. His phone rang, Luna Martinez's name flashing on screen. Regaining composure, he gradually loosened the necktie restraining her. "Stay silent," he ordered before retreating to the balcony for the call. Ivy retrieved the DVD case from the trash, carefully pocketed the disc, and fled. After staying at Mia Brown's place for a week, Ethan's agent tracked her down. He made her sign stacks of NDAs. Contracts spread across the table. Can't he even face me for the divorce himself? His career depends on closing Noah Clarke's film deal. The agent frowned impatiently. "We'll increase the settlement if you want more." Ivy signed. He snatched the papers. "Media outlets are prepared. The process will be quick. Be at the courthouse tomorrow morning. Don't be late." Next day, Ethan appeared in low-profile disguise, mask and hat like on their wedding day, never existing in proper daylight. The clerk processed their paperwork in 10 minutes. Return in 30 days for finalization. They left without speaking. Only in the parking lot's shadows did he block her path. "Where are you staying?" Silence. "Move back home," he ordered. "The divorce is temporary." "Ivy, are you saying that after you get the role, finish filming, and win the award, we'll remarry?" He pursed his lips and looked away. I pushed past him and walked toward Mia Brown's car. "I've checked, there's really nothing between you and him." He grabbed my arm with one hand, pulling me back. "Then again, why would Noah Clarke ever be interested in you?" Releasing me, he added, "Come home when this is all over. Be good, little sister." Ethan Wilson's career soared, filming new projects and receiving numerous accolades. When his casting for a project was announced, he dominated the trending lists while securing one endorsement after another. Rumors about him and Luna Martinez also kept emerging. Luna subtly posted about their matching items online, all things I had originally bought for Ethan, including that limited edition merchandise I had rushed to buy in the rain with the paycheck from my first summer job. None of that mattered now. After getting the divorce papers, I turned down all commercial gigs to focus entirely on studying the Container's script and film references. 4 months later, Mia called to say we'd start filming soon. The night before our mountain shoot, thunder rumbled menacingly. I returned to the apartment to clear out my belongings, only to find Luna redecorating. She was hanging new curtains and had transformed the entire space with her preferred decor, right down to the bed sheets. "Your things?" "We threw them all away." She smiled innocently. "Ethan gave me the keys. When I asked where they'd been discarded, she cheerfully said, 'The recycling bin's downstairs.' As I turned to leave, she added, 'They say unwanted women age faster, you're living proof.'" The recycling area was empty. Since this was Ethan's property, I had no right to evict her. He had always kept our assets strictly separate, making sure I owned nothing. His ideal situation, me having nothing except him. Lightning flashed as the long, held-back rain finally came down. I staggered into the building's entrance, soaked. Mia wasn't answering calls, and the downpour showed no sign of stopping. While wiping mud from my shoes, a shadow fell over me, someone holding an umbrella. The man's coat carried the damp chill of midsummer midnight. "Don't tell me this is a coincidence," I said. "It's not. I've been waiting for you." Noah Clarke stood there hours after the wrap party photos of flickering shadows had trended online. "How long did you ride this time?" I joked. He turned his face slightly, failing to hide his smile. "Not long." "No fever this time?" I reached to check his temperature, but he gently caught my wrist. "How's the script preparation going? Did Director Clarke come all this way to check on my work?" "No." "Then why?" "To see you." My breath caught. My hand easily slipped out of his grasp. When people are at a loss, They always bring up the most inappropriate topics like I'm doing right now. No, did you intentionally make me divorce Ethan? His eyes glistened with crystal clarity. Long lashes trembling slightly. Are you angry? Before I could answer, he continued, even if you are, I won't apologize. The rain mist blurred his features, making his eyes appear especially dewy. Was he crying? Noticing my gaze, he turned his face away, refusing to let me see. In my entire life, this is the only bad thing I've ever done. Why? He turned back abruptly. Don't you understand yet? I understand. But you don't. I met his gaze directly. No, I'm sick. I laid bare my most shameful hungers. As I spoke, his eyes grew increasingly stormy. Disgusting. He must find this repulsive too. Don't be kind to me so easily. My sickness makes me cling desperately. I'm worthless. Unworthy of love. Everyone says so. Everyone who gets close to me eventually leaves. No, But he simply opened his palm to me. Will you hold my hand now? That was his entire response. I reached out, fingertips brushing his warm, dry palm. He immediately clasped my hand and pulled me into an embrace so tight our breaths mingled. Enough? His voice vibrated through where our chests pressed together. I nodded. Yet he didn't release me. Burying his face in my hair, he murmured hoarsely, not enough for me. Outside, the rain intensified, lashing at tree branches. Ivy, I need you. Mountain filming began. Noah himself played the male lead in the vessel. Even Mia couldn't help marveling on set. What insane luck, your debut film with this legendary director. The first month and a half involved character immersion. Noah personally coached me through scenes. The subsequent intensive shooting lasted until wrap day. The valley's autumn rains persisted through summer's end. On my birthday, when we filmed the final scene, rain began pattering again as I returned to my room. The downpour couldn't drown out the sudden commotion outside. A frantic knock came. The assistant director burst in, eyes wide. Oh my God. Ivy! So Ethan Wilson is your brother? No wonder Director Clark gave you all those private coaching sessions. Hurry. He bought a lot of supplies. We've been waiting for you. Ethan Wilson came to visit the set. I never told him about joining this production. He'd been assuming I was hiding at home with no acting jobs. Through the mountain mist, he stood among the bustling crew. His face half illuminated by flickering candlelight from an oversized cake covered in candles. Happy birthday, sis. He'd never celebrated my birthday before. Today, exploiting Noah Clark's supply run down the mountain, Ethan threw this elaborate celebration to announce our relationship to the entire crew. You're so lucky, Ivy. Your brother handles all your career opportunities. He wanted our names permanently linked. Noah still hadn't returned. When I entered my room, Ethan followed. I blocked him at the threshold. I can't sleep in strange rooms. He leaned against the wall, clearly enjoying my irritation. Siblings sharing quarters is normal, right? As footsteps approached outside, I instinctively stepped back, giving him the opening to slip in and lock the door. I brought your gift. He produced an ornate box, opening it himself when I refused. Inside lay a stiffened dead hamster. I recoiled until my back hit the wall. You begged for one as a child. He chuckled at my horror. If I'd agreed then, this would have been its fate eventually. See? I saved you unnecessary pain. Clutching my phone, I secretly dialed Mia Brown. Sneaking onto this set as lead actress, if the investors hadn't told me, I'd never know my little sister became so capable. What spell did you cast on Noah Clark? He advanced, trapping me in the corner. Like you once did to me? First you guarded my bedroom door like a stray kitten, terrified I'd abandon you. Then film school, claiming you wanted to be near me. Now this affair with Noah? Another scheme to provoke me? His hand closed around my throat as I stared impassively. Talk. This silver tongue that always pleased me, why won't it lie now? We're divorced. It's over. I'm your brother. That bond is eternal. We share no blood. You removed me from the family registry when we married. Now we're strangers. My calm enraged him further. Releasing me, he staggered back against the door with bitter laughter. Plenty want what you discard. Ivy Wilson. Don't regret this. His agent knocked. Flight at 11. The variety show recording. When Ethan yanked the door open, Noah stood there. The men locked eyes. Ethan quickly looking away, the edge of dawn remained in post-production. Outside, the rain had stopped and fog dissipated. I wondered how much Noah had overheard. Are you angry? Ivy Wilson, asked. No. His hair glistened with misty rain. I just didn't want him to hurt you. He, Noah Clark, respected me, giving me time to sort out my relationship with Ethan Wilson. Good night then, I said. See you tomorrow. As I turned to leave, he pulled me back. Still a little angry, he admitted. You should comfort me. How? I asked. Noah Clark drove me to the mountaintop. From the observation deck, we overlooked the endless tapestry of city lights. Sitting on a stone bench, he produced a tiny cake, barely enough for two. You went down the mountain just for this? He handed me a lighter. Light the candles. I tried but failed, the wind snuffing every attempt. When I looked up helplessly, he chuckled and shielded the flame with his black coat. Seizing the moment, I burrowed into his jacket. He gazed down, mimicking my usual tone. What are you doing? His voice resonated deeper in the mountain night. Blocking the wind, I stated matter-of-factly. Our foreheads nearly touched, breaths mingling. The faint scent of laundry detergent clung to his white wool sweater. The flame finally caught. His eyes sparkled like evening stars in the firelight. I thought he'd kiss me then. Instead, he lit the candle until it glowed like a sparkler, urging me to make a wish. Why won't you kiss me? I asked. He said everything tonight was simply to celebrate my birthday. To bring me joy, no ulterior motives. I made my wish. What did you wish for? I wished you'd kiss me. He turned away, jaw tensing. Why did Noah Clark like me? How long would his affection last? Never mind. I stepped back with a laugh. If you won't, his kiss arrived abruptly, carrying faint reproach for my easy surrender. Yet his touch gentled as he cradled my head, protective against the rocky outcrop. When his control frayed, he stopped abruptly. Blood welled where his hand scraped stone. He pressed his forehead to my neck, breathing like a wounded animal. You'll be the death of me, he murmured. Why can't you understand? In the car's warmth, I bandaged his knuckles. Finished. He interlaced our fingers, refusing to let go. Soothing music filled the vehicle as dawn tinged the sky. Time to descend the mountain. I asked him, are you really that innocent? With no desires at all? He didn't answer, just held my hand. As I was drifting off to sleep, I faintly heard him whisper, at least. It's not the kind of desire that can be satisfied with one kiss. Not the kind that only needs a single night. He said he wanted to kiss me 1,000 times. In every sunrise and sunset of our days. Ethan Wilson never contacted me again. He became extremely busy. Rumors said his scenes in Border Shadows got entirely cut, dashing his award hopes. Luna Martinez was photographed frequently entering his residence, and he officially announced their relationship the next day, his first publicly acknowledged girlfriend. Luna accidentally liked a netizen's comment during late-night scrolling, "What's some wait lifetimes for?" She obtained instantly. It was later exposed that the commenter was her own alt account. Just when I thought Ethan would fade from my life, I encountered him at the hospital during my checkup. The physician, Ethan's longtime friend, had been treating me for years. Sitting outside the consultation room, I overheard their conversation. Why did her illness suddenly disappear? The doctor explained. It didn't disappear, it transferred. Psychological wounds often shift focus. Frankly, this should have happened sooner. Her condition was always contingent on how much she cared about you. And now? She simply stopped caring. Hence the effortless transition. Silence filled the room. The doctor sighed, watering his plants. You nurtured this treasure only for someone else to claim it. You fool. Let go. Deep down, you know she's also a victim. By manipulating her to remain in self-punishment. Weren't you just terrified she might leave? Turning to face Ethan, the physician added, mental illness doesn't exist in isolation. Have you been taking the medication I prescribed? Slumped in the chair like a deflated balloon, Ethan murmured, I don't want clarity. She shouldn't have it either. We deserve to drown together. Do you love her? No. Ethan snapped. Who could love her? I only feel hatred. Hate strong enough to marry her? Merely strategy. She's the dependent one. Her body only accepts me. Even if we divorce later, she'll always be the girl who married her stepbrother. No other man would want her. Eventually, she'll return. The doctor stared coolly. So you've built an inescapable net, blocking all her exits. You want the world to abandon her, forcing her to beg for your affection. Exactly. An impeccable plan. Years of scheming, yet some random guy steals your prize? Ethan massaged his temples, grinning mirthlessly. What's he worth? Once he learns the truth, he'll flee. I left quietly. Returning home, Mia Brown was fretting over gown selections. Our film vessel had received official approval and festival nomination. Some idiot arranged your seat next to Ethan Wilson. Mia grumbled. Disgusting luck. She had me choose from a few evening gowns. I picked a short white diamond-encrusted haute couture piece. On the night of the awards ceremony, Ethan Wilson and I didn't exchange a single glance. But the moment I sat down, he whispered, You think he actually wants you? He was referring to Noah Clark sitting in the front row, preparing to accept his award. I know men best. His thumb rested on the armrest between us. It's just a fling. Under the spotlight, Noah Clark ascended the stage to receive his award. When the entire venue erupted in applause, Ethan was still talking to me. Just admit you were wrong, and I'll remarry you tonight. As the applause subsided, the audience quietly waited for Noah's acceptance speech. Standing on stage, he looked directly at my seat. Ethan noticed too. Noah publicly proposed to me. When the camera panned to me in the audience, it also captured Ethan sitting beside me. Under the lens scrutiny, he had to join the applause. Smiling bitterly as he said, Wow. He's proposing. After receiving my award, the organizers arranged for me to leave early to avoid media congestion. Before the news spread, Noah waited for me at the designated spot. Ivy Wilson. Ethan called out to me under the parking lot's amber lights. He tried to grab me, but Noah blocked him. What do you even see in her? Ethan sneered at Noah. Do you know what kind of woman she is? That we were married? I know. Noah's crisp response caught him off guard. You knew? Ethan took half a step back, face twisting. And you still dare be with her? You're picking up trash. You realize that? Marrying this immoral bitch will make you the laughingstock of. I don't care, Noah said calmly. Because I love her. Ethan fell silent. The courage he lacked, Noah possessed. The love he feared to give, Noah embraced. From the beginning, the only one afraid of judgment had been Ethan. Through years of rootless wandering, I'd fantasized about someone rescuing me. But Ethan couldn't. He was like porcelain. Too fragile for real life. My savior needed to be like the first north wind of winter. Fearless of shattering. Now clutching Noah's waist on his motorcycle. The cold wind stripped away all the harsh words that had ever been thrown at me. His body warmth enveloped me as the city lights blurred past. Noah. He heard me. I never grew up properly. I've only become more broken. Back then, I married him when he asked. Living without any self-awareness. But you're different. Noah Clark was my distant star. Burning steady through the darkness. Processed English translation. That's not true. He argued. I was just luckier than you, born into a family that gave love without demanding sacrifice. Ivy. He said softly. You're stronger than me. To survive in a world that refused to love you, you're extraordinary. So let me admire you now. Admire what? I asked. The quiet resilience in your soul. Ethan Wilson's career had stumbled. News outlets roasted him for forgetting lines, mixing up names, and zoning out during interviews. When he was rushed to the ER one night, speculation exploded. His agent finally announced he'd take a hiatus. The diagnosis? Prescription drug addiction. I found him outside my new apartment weeks later. Pale and gaunt, unrecognizable from the man I'd known. I've lost everything. Happy now? He lit a cigarette. Ivy. Isn't the punishment over? The ash dropped onto his hand unnoticed. When are you coming home? I've built my own life. He stared at the burning filter on his skin. I could ruin it. One social media post about our past, you'd never escape me. Do it. My voice stayed steady. He froze, unprepared for my calm. Destroy me then. I smiled. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not alone. He crumpled to his knees, clutching my pant leg. I'm sorry. God. Ivy, I'm sorry. Hurt me however you want. Just come back. I shook him off. Tears streaked his face. I was here first. Why? Let go, Ethan. He pressed on. If I'd treated you better from the start. If we, no ifs. I looked down at him. Two broken people can't fix each other. Rolling up his sleeves, he revealed arms scarred with fresh cuts. I'll keep hurting myself until you return. That's your choice. I pried his fingers away. Your guilt trips don't work anymore. I won't carry your pain, or my mother's, anymore. I belong to myself now. The girl who loved fiercely without being loved back. She's always been enough. Upstairs. My bedroom light glowed warm. Someone waited. I slipped under the covers. Chilled skin meeting warmth. Arms encircled me, a shelter. Not a cage. Ethan. I have a question. He nuzzled my hair, waiting for me to continue. Why didn't you come ask me directly for the apartment address when we met again that day? He chuckled low in his chest, tightening his embrace. Promise not to laugh. I looked up at him. I won't. Because I was afraid you'd refuse me. Moonlight rippled in his eyes as the breeze stirred the curtains. Ivy. If my past gets exposed, it could hurt you. It doesn't matter. He smiled. Worst case scenario. I stopped directing. My savings could fund our world travels. But that's your life's work? Instead of answering, he asked, want to hear a story? What kind? The story of why I fell for you. During my freshman year, I got summoned to the principal's office within weeks. My visible bruises told the story face. Arms. All bearing traces of violence. Classmates did this? The teacher asked. I shook my head. Family? I remained silent. We need to contact your parents. The phone rang unanswered. Your mother? Missing. Father? Dead. The frustrated teacher flipped through files. Don't you have an older brother? My hands instinctively covered fresh bruises. Ah, yes. The film school prodigy. Another teacher interjected. Ethan Wilson. I have his number. He arrived all polite concern as teachers praised his model citizenship. Collecting autographed headshots. They never saw his hand flash out in the security blind spot. The slap that left me bleeding against the wall. Did you snitch? He wiped his hands with antiseptic wipes. No. Good. The crumpled towel hit the trash can. Hurts? His bored eyes scanned me. Next time, I'll stick to hidden areas. Keep your mouth shut. Alone in the corridor. I pressed my bloody sleeve to my nose, counting each shaky breath until the world stopped spinning. Someone handed me a pack of tissues. It was my new desk partner, Noah Clark. I kept wiping my face for a long while. He stayed beside me the entire time. Suddenly remembering, I told him, "Hey, today's my birthday." I laughed at myself after saying it. "Happy birthday." He responded simply, never one for elaborate comfort. He asked, "Do you have any wishes?" Wishes. I thought about it. No. I don't want to keep living, nor start over. I just want to vanish. Looking up at his slender frame in the same school uniform as mine, I asked, "Can you create dreams?" Create dreams? Yeah. Like weaving dreamscapes for people. I wish I could become someone else. He studied me seriously. The warning bell rang, signaling time to return to class. I stood up, dismissing this brief conversation as unimportant. I didn't hear Noah Clark's response after I started climbing the stairs. Later, he excelled academically and went to America for graduate school. I sank deeper into my personal quagmire, letting life drag me under, until one austere early spring night with north winds howling. 4 a.m. After all those years, his first words to me were, "I'm here. Come downstairs." I always thought he was an unreachable star, never realizing he was the one who wanted to pluck stars from the sky for me.